Stress, we all have it. We all go through it. And stress can be a good thing to some extent, and it can be a horrible thing to a whole lot of extents. Well, when you have a brain injury, everything is stressful. And we'll discuss this further, y'all. My name's Astra. Welcome to Astra's Brain Injury. Now, we all experience this thing in life called stress. And some of us can handle it, and others of us cannot handle it. And as I said, with a brain injury, it is where normally you stress, well, I shouldn't say you, me, where my stress level would be here, and I can handle all kind of different things coming at me. Because of my brain injury now, everything is amplified. And so my stress, which should be here, is now all the way up here. And I've got to handle all of this stress. I know my family would hear me say, y'all want me to lose my mind, because I'm verbalizing, because really it is so much on my brains and my brain injury. Now, with your brain injury and that stress, it causes a lot of adverse reactions to you. So I can tell y'all that I have had days where I've not slept because of the stress for me. Now, it could be an example. I'll give you an example. So say, for instance, I have an appointment that I'm going to. And this appointment now is, say, a new practitioner. And, we leave in the allotted time. Now, because this is an example I'm giving you that I had personally. We were in the car, we're driving. All of a sudden, traffic comes to a halt. What's going on? We're trapped. We're deadlocked. We can't go nowhere. Couldn't even reverse to say, I'm going to try and get off the exit ramp. I couldn't even go around. The driver could not even go around to say, let's try and bypass this right lane and get into the left lane, or get into the further left lane, the middle lane to the left lane, and see if we can maybe bypass and go that other way. No. And so the thing is, with that amount of stress, it's not really stressful when you don't have a brain injury, but all of a sudden now your brain is like, and the alarm bells is going off. And so that stress now has hit I don't want to say like a burning point, but it hit a boiling point. That's the word. It's hit a boiling point now. And now you're either going to, or you're just going to begin to just bawl. And in my case, I just began to bawl, y'all. And the thing is now, with this stress, brought in a panic for me. And now I'm beginning to panic. And when I called to let them know that there's been a car accident, and I don't know how many cars is involved in the accident, I'm going to be late. The reception that I got was not, appealing to me, in the sense that it helped to calm down the stress that I was already going through. And so I was, as I said, that stress turned into panic now. And I am like at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. And so once I got there, now we couldn't even find where the building was. Why? Because they have, say for instance, their building is over here in lot A, but you need to go to lot D to get to the place. And so they give you the address of lot A, but you're supposed to be at lot D. And so, had to call again. And I'm saying, I'm here, but I don't see y'all building. What's going on? And so the amount of stress. And then the thing is, when your body gets into stress and in such an intense stress for you, you can either be, you're panicking, you're shaking, you're bawling, whatever. You're just agitated beyond belief. You don't even know what to do, what to expect, how to handle, and all these kind of things. Because like I said, with a brain injury, I find for me that things really hits me really hard. Something simple. Oh, I lost my pen. No, it's like the world is over. My pen has been lost. So my emotions in this, because of my brain injury, just kicks everything in overdrive. It's not oh, you lost your pen. Baby girl, everything's going to be all right. No, baby, no. It is not going to be all right. I've lost my pen. The world is coming to an end. Like, I need my pen. And, it puts this extreme, undue amount of stress upon you with the brain injury. Like I said, everything is stressful. Everything. Everything for me is a stressful thing. Like, you could just break out in a sweat, like you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. You don't know what to do. Suffice it to say, when I went to the appointment, I couldn't do the whole appointment. It wasn't my fault, why I was late. There was an accident, and it was a bad accident. And so it was multiple car accidents. And so because it was just a 2-lane, we were gridlocked. We could not go nowhere. And so until, the ambulance came, the fire truck came, the police came, and they were able to clear that out. And then the next thing too, all of that just brought up, like, my PTSD just went in overdrive too as well. So that situation was not, it wasn't a pleasant thing for me. It was so stressful. Like, even now, I feel like I can just begin to bawl. Like, seriously, I don't know. It's been years since that happened. But this is how this is with a brain injury. You don't know what can trigger the stress for you. You don't know how you're going to respond to the stress, because like I said, I wasn't like, I'm coming to blows with people. I just began to I began to bawl, and my family, like I said, they always hear me say, I'm about to lose my mind. And they'll be like, okay, lose your mind. You want to help find it? Like they would say things like this. And I'd be like, what? So it makes you, it kind of like it snaps you out of being in that, I'm going to lose my mind kind of thing, And so it can either help you to laugh or not, And so, like, there's this thing I can tell you, I've said to my mother, I'm like, if you, say for instance, if you're yelling, and you drop down, where you going? Like, where are you going? Hell, heaven, where you feel you going? And so, my mother was like, And so when I now would want to be losing my mind, and if she said this to me, I would turn to her and be like, what you talking about, Willis? And it would make me begin to laugh. I would begin to smile, And so things like this helps to decrease the stress for you. And the thing is, I keep saying, if you've got a good support system, they can help you. Because when they see, oh, okay, Ashley's going to be losing her mind, let me give you a hug. Let me give you a hug. Come, let me give you a hug. Or, something to help to decrease that stress and take it from up here and bring it down here, bring it down so that you would be able to, okay, it's not as bad as I'm thinking that it is. I know I'm getting teary, y'all. I'm getting weepy. But yeah, that is, how things are for me. And as I said, that particular situation, I felt it could have been handled differently. And with it being handled differently, it would have helped me, because it's not every time, and this is the thing I would let you know, it's not every time that a practitioner is aware that you have a brain injury. And so, or, somebody could be having a bad day, and even though they may know, but they're the kind that is just going to lash out, they would just let it out on you, and then so poor you is like, what? Like, you're already stressed. Then all of this, they want to give you a serving and think that you could say, please, sir, or please, ma'am, give me some more. No, sir, and no, ma'am, I don't want none of that. But, it's a hard thing. I can tell you that. It's a hard thing with a brain injury and dealing with stress, because you never know what it is that can cause this. You know what I would akin it to? It's almost like, when one is pregnant. So when you're pregnant, ladies, when you're pregnant and you are so weepy, like somebody could just come and they'd be like, oh, here's a mango. And you're like, oh, and you just begin to bawl, It's kind of like that. So you have this amount of stress on you because of the brain injury, because, you know who you were before. And now you've got to accept who you are going to be from whenever that point was to whenever that point ends, And so along that way, you have a lot of ups and downs and ups. You got a lot of those. And it's really stressful from day to day, moment to moment for you. Well, for me, with the brain injury. And so, what else could I say? We have stress in our life, from your husband, your wife, to your children, to your situation that you're in, your financial, your anything. All of these are different stressors. But with a brain injury, it just kicks it up. Like, not even a notch. It kicks it up like 10 notches. So when I looked at my situation, because, you're able to manfully do this, this, and this, and now I can't do this, this, or that. It was alarming for me as an individual. Like when you're an independent, we're all independent to some degree and all dependent to some degree. But when you are an independent individual and you're able to pick up and do what you need to do, and all of a sudden now that comes to a huge halt, that's a huge stressor. And add that with a brain injury, that's like an explosion of stress for you as an individual. Well, for me, because it was for me. Because like I said, I'm the type of individual that if I wanted to get up and, ooh, y'all, let's go. Let's plan a trip. Let's go. Let's go away for the weekend. Let's do this here. Let's go there. Do whatever. you can get up and do. Now, I cannot do that. I need to find, what's y'all schedule like? Can you take me here, there, or wherever I need to go? Like, can I, I'm now dependent upon others, and especially more so at the beginning of my brain injury. You are so dependent, and so it's stressful even depending upon someone else, because like I said, when you got that independence and you can get up and go, you be like, bye, and you go about your business. But it's not like that no more. So it's a lot of things that brings on stress and that continues that stress. And it's a little hard trying to pick and choose. Okay, what am I going to be stressful about? Do I want to be stressful about because I couldn't put my shoe on today? Or do I want to be stressful because I needed someone to help me bathe? Like, you need to pick your stress, but you can't. It's like your brains cannot filter out and be like, oh, okay, I don't need to be stressful about this, or I don't need to be, no, it's like everything just hits you all at once. And so now you got stress on top of stress on top of stress. So that's how it was for me. I mean, it still is to some degree, but not as bad as it was when I first began. And so, I would just say, talk to, whomever that you can trust, and tell them, what, this is really stressing me out. Verbalize to your family, because, if you're able to sit down and talk with them and say, you know what, when we are talking and say, for instance, something happens and I said, okay, I got to go. Please don't try and say, no, just stay here. Just give it 5 minutes. No, I really need to go. Like if you could talk to them and let them know these things, then it can help you. And then they could be like, okay, what are you stressful about? What's stressing you today? And you can say, well, you know what? I'm stressing because I couldn't put on my socks. And, I was able to do it before, but I can't do it now. And, well, then they could turn and say, well, are you able to get that sock over your toe? Yeah, I can. We'll be happy with that. And hopefully that can help to bring down your stress, So, all right, well, that's all I have for today. And if you are the one that is going through the brain injury, let me know. Have you experienced these kinds of stresses? Like, has it happened for you? Do you find that you can't differentiate between, is this really, that stressful, or this more stressful? Like, you feel like everything is a stressor for you? Let me know. And if you are the caregiver of the one that is going through the brain injury and you're noticing that they are stressing, and then, they would either just break down and just start to bawl and all these kind of different things, let me know. It would be interesting to see. Like, if there are others that experience the same things that I experienced for my brain injury. So, all right. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. And, I will definitely see you in the next video. And I shall take my leave now and say bye.